Imagine this: you're walking through your own neighborhood when suddenly a group of self-appointed authority figures stop you in your tracks. They're not real cops, but they sure act like it. Decked out in fake badges and official-looking gear, they demand answers, throw out threats, and even try to make an arrest. But there's just one little problem: they have no idea who they're dealing with. This is exactly what happened when a group of overzealous HOA enforcers decided to flex their so-called power on a new resident. They saw a black man they didn't recognize, assumed he didn't belong, and tried to intimidate him. What they didn't know: that man was the newly appointed sheriff of the county. The tension escalated fast. They barked orders, he stood his ground. They reached for handcuffs, he reached for his badge. In just seconds, the entire situation flipped, leaving these one-aid lawmen scrambling for excuses. So, what happens next? Do they realize their mistake before it's too late? Or do they double down on their arrogance, digging themselves into an even deeper hole? Trust me, you won't believe how this showdown plays out. Stay tuned, because this story is about to take a turn no one saw coming. The moment the sheriff pulled out his badge, the air shifted. The fake HOA cops froze, eyes darting between each other, their confidence cracking. But instead of backing down, one of them stepped forward, still trying to play the tough guy. "Nice try," he scoffed. "That badge doesn't mean anything here. This is private property, and we have authority in this neighborhood." The sheriff raised an eyebrow, his grit on the badge firm. "Private property," he repeated. "Funny, because I just moved in down the street, which makes this asterisk my asterisk neighborhood too." A flicker of doubt crossed their faces, but the leader wasn't ready to let go of control. He folded his arms, standing his ground. "We enforce the rules here. Suspicious individuals are questioned. You refused to comply." The sheriff let out a slow breath, sizing them up. Suspicious? And what exactly made me suspicious? Because from where I'm standing, the only thing out of place here is a group of men impersonating law enforcement. Silence. One of them shifted uncomfortably. The others glanced around, as if searching for an escape. But their leader? He still wasn't getting it. He doubled down, his voice rising. "You're trespassing, and we will remove you." Big mistake. The sheriff's expression hardened. And just like that, this situation was far from over. The sheriff didn't flinch. He stood firm, his badge still visible, his voice steady. "You sure you want to go down this road?" he asked. "Because right now, you're looking at felony charges for impersonating law enforcement." The leader of the group scoffed, but the others weren't as confident anymore. One of them, shorter, nervous, glancing around like he wanted to disappear, cleared his throat. Maybe we should just..." But the leader cut him off. "We are enforcing the law. This community has rules, and we don't answer to you." His voice wavered, just slightly, but his pride wouldn't let him back down. The sheriff studied him for a long moment, then slowly reached for his radio. The movement was calm, deliberate. "Dispatch, this is Sheriff Carter. I need units at my location for an incident involving possible criminal impersonation." That was the moment everything shifted. The nervous one took a step back. Another fake cop, who had been standing tall just moments ago, suddenly found a deep interest in his shoes. But the leader? He clenched his jaw, fists tight. "This is ridiculous," he muttered. "You think you can just come in here and..." A voice cut through the tense silence. A woman had stepped onto her porch nearby, phone in hand, recording everything. "Hey, everyone," she called out. "You guys might want to see this." And just like that, the entire neighborhood was watching. The sheriff barely moved, but his presence alone was shifting the power in the scene. The fake HOA cops had started this encounter with confidence, but now, with cameras recording and real law enforcement on the way, their bravado was cracking. The leader, still clinging to control, took a step closer. "Turn that camera off," he snapped at the woman. "You can't record private security." She laughed, shaking her head. Oh, this asterisk is too good, she said, zooming in. Go on, tell us more about your authority. More neighbors were stepping outside now, drawn by the commotion. Whispers spread quickly. Is that the new sheriff? Someone muttered. Are those guys even real cops? The sheriff remained calm but firm. You should probably stop talking, he told the leader, because every word you say is making this worse. But the man wasn't listening. His face was red with frustration. This is harassment, he spat. You don't belong here. The words hung in the air, heavier than anything else he had said. A few of his own men exchanged uneasy glances. The sheriff's jaw tightened, but he didn't take the bait. Instead, he looked directly into the man's eyes and asked one simple question. Would you be saying that if I didn't have this badge? Silence. The weight of the moment was undeniable. And then, just as the leader opened his mouth to respond, the distant wail of sirens cut through the air. The sirens grew louder, flashing red and blue lights reflecting off the houses as patrol cars pulled up. The crowd had grown, neighbors murmuring among themselves, phones held high to capture every moment. The fake HOA cops had started this as if they were in charge, but now, with real officers stepping out of their vehicles, they looked anything but in control. One of the deputies approached the sheriff, giving him a quick nod. Everything all right, Sheriff Carter? The leader of the fake cops stiffened. His mouth opened, then closed. He looked from the deputy to the sheriff, his confidence crumbling. Sheriff, he repeated, like the word itself was hard to process. Sheriff Carter folded his arms. That's right, he said. And now that real law enforcement is here, let's have a little chat about what you and your buddies have been up to. But before the deputies could step in, something unexpected happened. One of the fake cops, the quiet one who had looked nervous from the start, quickly turned on his so-called leader. I told you this was a bad idea, he blurted out. I told you we weren't supposed to do this. The leader spun toward him. Shut up, he hissed, but it was too late. The sheriff narrowed his eyes. Wasn't supposed to do what asterisk? The man hesitated, then swallowed hard. His gaze flickered toward the patrol cars, realizing there was no way out. And that's when the second twist hit. This wasn't just about fake authority. There was something bigger going on here. Something they had been trying to cover up. And the truth was about to come spilling out. The sheriff locked eyes with the nervous man, his patience thinning. You want to try that again, he asked. What exactly weren't you supposed to do? The man hesitated, his face pale under the streetlights. He glanced at the deputies, the crowd, then at his so-called leader, who was now glaring daggers at him. With a deep breath, he'd blurted it out. It wasn't just about him. We've been stopping people for weeks. Anyone we didn't recognize. Anyone who looked like they didn't belong. His voice cracked. We weren't supposed to get caught. A collective gasp rippled through the onlookers. Neighbors exchanged stunned looks. The sheriff's expression darkened. You've been harassing people. The leader finally snapped. They're not residents, he barked. This community has standards. If we don't keep order, then. The sheriff took a step forward, voice ice cold. Then what? He challenged. You keep playing pretend cop. Keep deciding who gets to exist here. Before the man could respond, one of the deputies stepped. That's enough, he said firmly. Turn around, hands behind your back. The leader jerked away. You can't do this. I was protecting this neighborhood, but the deputies didn't hesitate. The fake badge, the fake power, it was all over now. As cuffs clicked around his wrists, a final twist came. A voice from the crowd called out, Hey, Sheriff, you might want to check his address. A deputy pulled out his ID, eyes widening. Sheriff, this guy doesn't even live here. And just like that, the biggest fraud of all had been exposed. The crowd erupted in murmurs. The self-proclaimed enforcer of neighborhood rules, the man who had harassed residents and acted like he ran the place, wasn't even a homeowner. The irony was almost too much. Sheriff Carter shook his head. So, let me get this straight. You've been out here stopping people, acting like you own this community, and you don't even live here. The man didn't respond. His jaw was tight, hands clenched into fists, even as the deputies secured the cuffs. He had lost whatever illusion of power he thought he had. One of the deputies sighed. "We'll check if he has any outstanding warrants," he muttered before leading the man toward the patrol car. The rest of the fake HOA enforcers stood frozen, unsure of what to do. The nervous one, the only one who had shown an ounce of regret, took a step back. "I swear I didn't." The sheriff cut him off with a sharp look. "You had a choice," he said simply. "You made the wrong one." As the deputies rounded up the rest of the group, the sheriff turned to the neighbors. "If any of you were harassed by these guys, now's the time to speak up." And they did. Stories poured out, people being stopped on walks, questioned at the pool, even followed to their homes. It was over now. Real justice, not the fake, self-imposed kind.